So I'm lying here in bed and it's early morning and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what are next steps? What do I have to do today? Do I even feel up to doing it? Wow. You know, the truth is my work's really sporadic, and I know sometimes people are like, well, why the fuck isn't she consistent? And what's going on? And mostly because you see the best side of me, you know, you see the happy Nikki, the living life to the fullest Nikki, the Nikki that doesn't quit, the Nikki that doesn't give up. But you know, things slow down when depression Nikki hits, and that's the truth of it. You know, not everybody knows that has met me recently. Many of you who've been with me since 2009, you do know, but the truth is I suffer from PTSD. My mother was exceptionally verbally abusive. And so whenever I get to the point where I'm like just reaching that little pinnacle of success, in anything, in life, in work, in relationships, especially, oh my God, in relationships, I'm so good at fucking up relationships. That little voice inside my head that told me, trying to do this without crying, okay? That told me all the time when I was young that I was worthless and a bitch and a slut and a whore and a cunt and stupid and useless. You know, and the worst part is, that's not who my mom was, right? That was my mom when she was drunk, and unfortunately she was just drunk a lot of the time. And when she was sober though, man, she was amazing. She was so amazing. She was intelligent and she was brilliant, and she gave me this crazy education about the world. She taught me things that you didn't learn in school. You know, I had a subscription to National Geographic when I was like 3 years old. She taught me about the mysteries of things like the crystal skulls and Aztec lines, and she put this thirst and this quest for knowledge and this curiosity in my brain. But along with that, she also, after having that third drink, she also put that little voice inside my head. That voice that said I'd never ever see those things for myself because I wasn't good enough. Okay, give me a minute. And that voice has helped me self-sabotage for years. I am now working on finishing the last 4 books in the Truth series. The first book was published in 2009 because the first opportunity I had, I decided that I was going to turn my life around and I was going to stop listening to that little voice, and I was going to get healthy and I was going to get happy and I was going to go do something with purpose. So I wrote my first book, Truth, and you can find it on Amazon. And then I started making YouTube videos. And then I started getting a bit of a following. And then I got sick. And that has been the pattern. That whenever I start getting to the point where I'm just about to succeed at something, I get sick. And I work hard, even through the pain. PTSD often leads to chronic pain problems. I broke my back several years ago, so I deal with chronic pain problems. I deal with addiction. I've dealt with alcoholism, depression, anxiety. I push through it. And I've worked with some of the best teachers, healers, doctors, just really good people. I'm surrounded by amazing individuals, and I make it a point to cut toxic people out of my life as much as possible. The problem is that when people think you're strong, people see strong you all the time. That's what they expect, you know? So when you start to crash and burn, or when you get hurt emotionally and you start to slip mentally, some people who've only known you as a strong person, they bail because they don't know how to deal with that. And that just compounds the problem, you know, because a lot of the issues I have around PTSD is around abandonment issues and abuse. And it's been again, a repeating pattern in my life. And it happened recently again that I tried to have a relationship and it didn't work out, and I ended up crashing and burning, and I want to. I want to have a relationship, I do, but I'm not very good at them. I guess I don't trust love anymore, and so that's why I started working on this book on relationships. That's the third book in the series, and in that process of doing that, I have discovered a shit ton about myself, and I'm going to be talking a lot about that in the near future, because I'm kind of coming out of my spiral, and I'm coming out of my hiding, but I decided that I'm going to stop hiding the dark parts to the downside. You know, I'm glad you guys didn't see me crying and in the depths of despair. In fact, most of the people here that I live with and I see day to day didn't see it. That's something I do in the solitude and safety of my room. And when I feel it coming on, I just come in here and I crank the music and I close the doors and I close the curtains, and I just scream at the universe and I weep and I go through that gut-wrenching, and I literally mean gut-wrenching, like, I mean, it feels like my fucking guts, and sometimes even my soul is being ripped from my body, and I go through that process so that I can release all of that anger and all of that despair and all of that sadness, and I let myself cry. And hey, little beauty tip, by the way, if you have false eyelashes, don't cry. It really fucks them up. So, anyways, that's where we're at. And so the YouTube channel is slow and going up, and I can't keep consistency and pace like a lot of other social media people out there. I drop the ball sometimes. Thankfully, I have a good team around me right now, and they've been giving me a lot of help and support, but you know, there's going to be a lot of where'd you go, and that's okay, because somebody has to be honest and authentic about how this shit, I'm starting to shake, probably can see it in the camera, how this shit affects our lives and how it affects our work and how it affects our ability to be able to function in what people consider to be a normal world. And to me, it's not a normal world. It's beautiful and it's bright, and I'm gonna have to hold my phone with two hands now because I'm super shaky. And it's beautiful and it's bright. It's full of awesome people, but it's also got users and abusers in it, and sometimes they get you. And the reason I write and the reason I make videos and the reason I have done my best to live my best possible life, and the reason I try to always do the things that make me happy, is because I'm fucking determined those people, those users and those abusers, are not going to steal my life from me. Regardless of what they've done to me, they're not going to steal my life. So I'll fight for you. I had that, but I'm going to start crying soon, so I'm going to go, but I'm going to fight through it, and I will see you guys on the other side. And I'll be back to being bright and beautiful and shiny again. But if I'm going to write a book series called Truth, you guys need to know all of it. And this is a really real part of the life that I live. So I do love you and For those of you who've been following since 2009 and have been supporting and uplifting, God, thank you so much, because it's now 2023 and I'm still at it. And I do really have the life that I want, you know. I tour around the country on motorcycles. I'm surrounded by amazing people. I live in a community that's full of amazing artists and creators. I live in a house that I absolutely love, and I couldn't ask for more. I really couldn't. So the only thing left I have to beat is this PTSD and this depression, and the only way I think I could do that is to be honest and authentic about it. So here I am, all of me, and this is what I'm throwing up on social media today, and we'll see how it goes, because you guys need to see both sides. So thank you, love you, see you on the other side.